Pam. Well, now it's time for our top morning headlines. It's been nearly 100 days since Kirk Caldwell was sworn into office as the 14th mayor of Honolulu. And this morning, the mayor is set to deliver his first State of the City address, highlighting issues such as growing homeless population and the city budget. KITV4's Ryan Kalei-Suji joins us live this morning from the Mission Memorial Auditorium with more on what we can expect from this morning's speech. Good morning, Ryan.
Hey Mahia, good morning. That speech set to get underway just after 8 o'clock this morning, where Mayor Kirk Caldwell will give his first State of the City address. I'm joined this morning by Jesse Border Van Dyke, the communications director with the mayor once again. And Jesse, you know, we're always hearing about and we're seeing a growth in the homeless population, and that's something we can expect to hear the mayor address today, correct?
Yes, Ryan. Unfortunately, there's over 4,000 chronically homeless people on this island, and it's become an issue for tourism as well as the residents. The mayor is going to outline a demonstration project, a Housing First project today in the State of the City, but you know it's a problem that he has to address. You know, it's in our face whether we like it or not.
You know, one of the things that we've heard throughout the mayor's campaign is the slogan, he wants to build rail better. What exactly does he plan to do, and some of the things we can expect to hear regarding the rail project?
Well, he wants to address community concerns, he wants to bring more fiscal transparency to the project, and he also wants to reduce the visual impacts as much as possible. The project's on track. They've completed their archaeological survey 2 months ahead of schedule, so they're still scheduled to begin construction later this year.
Jesse, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Also with us is Sherry Kajiwara with the Department of Customer Service. Right. And Sherry, one of the things that we often hear are people having to wait in those long lines for the DMV, but you guys have embarked on something to kind of expedite that process. If you can share with us what you guys are doing there.
Well, our newest thing was opening up these webcams at all of our driver licensing sites, because when the city assumed the responsibility to issue state IDs just this January, the lines got very long. And one of the biggest issues were people calling to find out, is this a good time to come? Is today better than tomorrow? And so we were having trouble answering those phones, and then you had frustrated employees and frustrated people. So we spent $99 on cameras and put one in each of our 5 driver license sites. And this afforded the public the opportunity to look online themselves and make a decision whether or not it was the right time for them.
And one of the questions that people often get confused with is the difference between the motor vehicle and the satellite city hall. And you actually have a map that can kind of help detail that. If you can kind of briefly just share with us some of the things that are highlighted here.
Sure. That is a big source of confusion, especially since it's been determined that state IDs will only be offered at driver's licensing sites. So what I want to point out is that across the island, we have 5 driver licensing sites, and that's represented by the blue dots. Then we have 10 satellite city halls, and the satellite city halls represented by the orange dots are the ones where you can do your monthly things like pay your water bill, pay your property tax, register to be an organ donor. There's a whole slew of things that you go to those sites on a regular basis. The motor vehicles, you only go maybe once every 8 years to renew your license or do your road test or your exam. So that's the difference between the 2 sites, and we just want to point out that state IDs are only offered at those 5 blue sites.
Well, Sherry, thank you very much for making that clear for us this morning, and very visual. Again, you can catch the mayor's speech on our sister station at MeTV on digital channel 126. Again, that's shortly after 8 o'clock this morning. Mahia, back to you.
All right, that map is certainly helpful. Ryan, thank you for that live report.